What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Equip Live. My name is Will, and I'm here with Joe. What's going on, Joe?
Oh, I'm excited to have you back, buddy. Uh, it
Good to
was
be back.
it was tough. I told you last week it was tough to talk and kind of carry the show by myself last week. So I'm happy to have
Yeah.
someone to have some banter with.
Yeah, I feel like more live streamers should do multiple people, right?
Oh, love it. I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's a better
totally agree.
show.
Yeah.
And I think especially when you're doing like really long form content, it's really nice to have multiple people, which I think that's why podcast works so well, is because people are just bouncing off of each other, which is really entertaining.
Yeah.
Looks like we've
Totally.
got Pastor Ben Beckner in the channel. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Cool. How you doing today?
You know it's actually speaking of having guests, right? So like I know we talked about it. Like Streamlabs has already kind of publicized like they're doing a beta for early access for their collab cam.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to play with that last night. I had 3 of us playing Apex Legends, and all 3 of our cameras on the screen. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah, I'm
So,
big fan.
I actually didn't know that you can do multiple people. I thought you could just do one guest.
I think when we started the closed beta, or I guess maybe
Okay.
when we started it was alpha, yeah, we could only do one. But now what I'm seeing is you use the same link and you can have as many guests. I don't know. Maybe there is a limit, but I had 3 yesterday. So
That's pretty sick. The
yeah.
nice thing about Streamlabs is like you can do a lot more graphically, right?
Yeah.
Um, like if you want something that's very lightweight and you maybe don't have like a gaming computer or something like that, like Melon is definitely the way to go.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you've got the power to do it, using Streamlabs can do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, it definitely. I did see a bump up in my CPU usage, which is expected, but
Yeah.
totally worth it. I mean, we tried to do the same thing with Melon, but the thing is with Melon, when it comes to doing like screen sharing for games, it's not great. But for like podcasts and having guests and stuff, it's great. It kind of goes back to the whole concept that we always say is like different tool for a different situation. Really,
Yeah,
you got
100%.
different tool for different job. But I'm excited to
Speaking
see
of,
it come out.
me too. Yeah, we're gonna have to demo that for sure.
Mhm.
Speaking of tools, let's go over what we're using today. Let's see. So for me, I've got my Meevo Start using wired webcam mode into my computer. For audio, I'm using a Blue Yeti X, which is going into G Hub and doing some cool NVIDIA broadcast stuff. And then I'm trying to think what else. I've got Lytra Glows either side doing the lighting as always. And then I've got also some of our other mics right next to me. So we're going to have to go over those as well. But yeah, that's what I've got going today. What about you?
Got my Meevo Start. I'm just always using wired webcam mode for that. For my mic, I've got a Blue Baby bottle. It's an XLR microphone going into my audio interface. It goes to my computer. Definitely have Lytra Glows, which I love. Check out, it's just, I love this demo that I can just press a button and show you like how much it lights me up and gets me to the forefront so quickly. Anyways, but I've got that. And then of course, yeah, we're using Melon today, which is kind of powering this whole thing. So I think that's it, right? Meevo, Glows, Mike. Yeah.
Are you using?
I do. Yeah, I always forget about those because they're here. Like,
All right.
I get used to using them. I want to get my hand. I still want to get my hands on like the consumer level wireless earbuds that they have, the Fits. My mic is hot and it's distorting a bit. Is it?
What's up, C-Bus Sports Radio? How's it going? Ryan, how you doing? Thank you very much. It's good to be back. Gordon in the house. Always good to see you, buddy. Let's see who else. Mr. I'm gonna say Boom.
Yeah, I think it's Boom.
How you doing?
But I'm not sure.
Cool. So basically today I wanted to talk a little bit about audio. We've got actually some really cool stuff coming up, which we can't talk too much about, but we are going to have a really big show on September 22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to be talking about some brand new things. So you definitely want to mark that on your calendar and be there for that. And then...
Yeah, we're basically going to talk about Logi Play. So if you guys haven't checked out Logi Play yet, that was on our Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, that's a problem. But
Should be.
yeah, so go follow us on Twitter. But we posted, and I think Logi G posted, and everyone's kind of talking about Logi Play right now. Now, what is Logi Play? I don't know. Can't talk about that. Don't know what that really consists of. But on the 21st, you'll find out what Logi Play is about and what the whole event is. But you don't want to miss it. It'll be on twitch.tv/LogitechG. And then, once we have the event on the 21st, then on the 22nd, we'll do a deeper dive on what it was. Because, in all honesty, I'm not even fully sure what all of it is. I've got an idea of what a couple of the things are, but
Right.
for the most part, I don't know what this looks like. So I'm excited to see as well as a viewer. So
it's kind of under wraps. What's cool is there's so many parts of Logitech that are coming together to announce new products or new services and just talk about like cool things that are coming up, which is really always very exciting.
Yep, it's going to be cool.
Yep. Let's see. Did everybody see the speaking of events, the Apple event yesterday? I know that since we do a lot of products that interact with that ecosystem, I think it's good to talk about for sure. Especially if you're a Meevo user, you're trying to get the most out of your mobile device.
Yep.
But yeah,
we got Johnny Bean over here.
Johnny Bean.
Johnny Bean.
What's going on?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so I saw the Apple event yesterday, and I got to tell you, I really wish that there were more unique products. I feel like we've seen the iPhone so many times, and
same iteration. It's just a new iteration every time.
It's like a slightly better camera.
Yeah, I think you probably follow iJustine too, but I've got iJustine on Instagram, and I was just watching her videos, and it was just like, here's a watch, another watch, and another watch, and I'm like, yeah, they all look basically the same. How powerful do you need a watch to be? It's I don't know, man. Somebody actually, I did see something that was kind of cool though. It was somebody saying something about they kind of wish it would do blood sugar levels and stuff. If you're going to do something new, then do something new. Just adding more hardware to make things faster. I mean, it's a watch. How fast do you really need it to be?
Yeah, and the whole idea behind the watch, right, is that it's supposed to be this super rugged thing. So if you're, hiking in Antarctica, then you're able to have your Apple Watch notifications. But how many of us are using an Apple Watch when we're hiking?
How many of us are going? Exactly. How many of us are actually going to Antarctica? And that was what a couple of people had said, right? In the comments, because that's what I was curious. I was like, I can't be the only one that always feels underwhelmed about these product announcements. I was pretty excited about the second version of the M1. What are is it the M2? What did they call that? M2. So yeah, so the M2, that's cool. But I mean, you're just tossing it back into the same existing product.
Yeah, and I was hoping they were going to bring the M2 to the iPhone. That would be cool. Just have a super, super overpowered phone, which would be amazing for the Meevo apps.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it was a slightly lackluster event. I know, the earlier Apple events used to be so exciting, right? When you had no idea what the product was.
Yeah.
And then they're coming out with the MacBook Air, and it's the first laptop that's tiny, and then the iPad, which had never existed, the iPhone, all that stuff was really, really cool, and now it just feels like
it's tough too, though, because as consumers, we kind of allow it because we continue to buy the new product, and it's they don't need to do anything new because people just keep buying the new product. So as consumers, it's something we just kind of we're enabling them to do it. Right. But what can you do? You can't. I guess. I don't know. I'm excited. I want them to break something new soon, but it is what it is. I was excited when I got my new iPad. That was always a win. But
Yep. And then I think just in terms of like how they do the event is a little bit like for somebody that's a huge fan of live streaming, like I really liked the early events that were all about like that live production. You weren't sure if like everything was going to work correctly. You weren't sure if like, they were
Yeah.
going to hit their marks or forget their lines or something like that. And now they are
Pre-produce.
recording this way ahead of time, right? It's going through all sorts of like editing and post production and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Follow
Yep.
or subscribe. Um, and yeah, like I miss the very true to heart live streams.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I also think too is like I being a live streamer and dealing with streaming, like how stressful that can be. But at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time,
why
with
I
the
appreciated it.
yeah, but at the same time with the resources that Apple has, it's like, like you guys
Right.
should be able to handle this. Like you guys are innovators. So yeah.
Jeff
Jeff,
saying I like the idea that they constantly refresh the hardware. It ages so fast. They usually upgrade every 2 years, and I do see a difference in performance. Yeah, for sure. What's interesting is though, like if they didn't update the OS at every single year, then you would have faster and faster hardware that runs on software that is like very low requirements for
yeah,
that. So like you're forced to upgrade. You're saying like, oh, it works faster, but it actually is not faster. It's just harder requirements that they're
yeah.
bringing out.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, can you imagine if like the new iPhone, like I've got the 13 whatever Pro or whatever the heck it's called, but
Right.
it's like imagine that running like the old flip phone OS, where it's like
Right.
basic texting and image sending, and that's it. Yeah, it would fly.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I only update my phone like literally. My last phone was a Note 8, so like I think I went 3 or 4 years before I updated. And the only reason I did is because like I don't know how many times I can break my screen before it's like it's time to just get a new phone. But yeah, I mean, I probably do it. I mean, before that, I think it was like 5 years before I updated again. I just don't. There's nothing heavy duty enough. I mean, unless you're streaming with like Multicam or something, or I don't know any other apps that really push mobile devices like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're doing like really complex video editing,
Yeah.
but if you've tried video editing on a tablet, it's not super easy.
Yeah, it's not a good time. And I mean,
Yeah.
even I've been using my tablet lately to do 3D modeling. Like I'll just be sitting
Mhm.
on my couch and like just doing 3D modeling, and like it handles that fine. So I just can't imagine it requires too much craziness.
Gordon looking for a new tablet. The new iPad Pros should be coming out. They're usually the event is like January, February. So there's probably going to be an M2 coming out around then.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
What else we got? What is the best Android tablet with great power? I mean, it really depends on your budget, right? Like if you want like the most powerful Android tablet, you can get the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, which is like I think it's like $1,400, and basically it is a beast. I think like it's like crazy powerful. I'm pretty sure it's got like 18 gigabytes of RAM. It's 14 inches, so it's just like a massive size. So yeah, if your budget is unlimited, that would be the best way to go.
Yeah, it's funny the way that was asked is like with great power, and immediately with great power comes great
Great.
responsibility. Immediately, like that's exactly like
I
straight
know.
where my head went. I was like, oh, yeah,
Such good marketing on their
yeah,
part.
yeah.
Thinking that the iPad Air might be a good fit. Yeah, I mean the iPad Airs are really solid now, and I think that they're probably going to start getting like an M1 chip if they don't already. Actually, do you have the iPad Air?
Yeah, I do.
Does it have an
It,
M1 chip in it?
it does, I think.
Oh,
I
nice.
think. Yeah, I'm almost positive it does.
When will the Meevo Multicam app get the updates that are listed on the website as coming soon? Well, it really depends on which update you're talking about, because I think there are, what, 3 or 4? Is that right, Joe?
What's that? What update?
the coming soon section on the Meevo website, there's like
Yeah.
I think 4 things, right? There's NDI.
Yeah. And there's media playback, picture in picture, and audio mixing. Which audio mixing's already done.
Yeah.
Picture in picture's in beta. So I mean, NDI and media playback are the only ones left. So
yeah, and what's interesting about video playback and NDI is that you can definitely do, like, if you have NDI in the app, then you could do sending a video through NDI to the app. So
yep.
that's why whenever I'm asked, I'm really excited about NDI.
Yeah.
For anything else, because you can bring in screen
Yeah.
sharing, videos, animations, anything.
And I think naturally those probably, and don't quote me because I don't know, I'm not part of the development process, but I would imagine those will be tied together. I mean, the way that they work, I imagine would be similar.
I hope so.
So,
but we can definitely say that all of this is in the works in one way or another.
Coming soon.
Unfortunately, we don't know how soon each one, but as you can see in the current public beta, their picture in picture is on its way.
It was funny. Somebody else asked in the Facebook group today the same thing. When is media playback coming? And I'm like, we don't have a public timeline. And I wish, I don't know. I kind of wish we do, but I also understand why we don't. Because of the same, like this kind, and like there's no fault of anybody else's that you're asking, but because of exactly this, right? Like if we were to have a public timeline and we broke that timeline, because we did that once too. Was it webcam mode or something? There was an earlier feature that we announced was coming. We had a timeline. People went and bought the camera because they had this timeline. The timeline slipped, and then they were upset because the feature didn't come out on time. And it's just like, so by not like that's exactly why we don't do it. We don't have timelines because we do not want to break them, and we do not want people to purchase items with the idea that a feature will be available by a specific time.
Yeah, quality over quantity always.
Yep. Timeline with Multicam. That might have been what it was. I don't know. I don't remember. It was about that time. It was when Meevo Start first came out. So Multicam was already in production. We were producing it by time Start was already announced. And then we had NDI that kind of came out shortly after, and then wired webcam mode, and then like a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff rolling out at this basically the same exact time. And then this was all at the height of COVID too. So like things slipped. A lot of stuff changed. So, you know, like, what can you do? We do our best to get everything out. I know our teams work hard. So
yeah, really hard. Let's see. Got a question. Hey, any way to reorder the overlays in the Multicam app? Unfortunately, right now there isn't really. I mean, you can manually do it by inserting them in a specific way, but in terms of like having, a control where you can move them around after you've put them in, there is no way at this time to do that. But it is something that the team is looking at. Let's see. Joe had to go grab something. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Ben, I think there was a timeline in the Multicam community on Facebook. I think that it was a very loose timeline. Let's see. Jeff saying, I remember Multicam coming summer. It was summer of the following year. Yeah, I think that like we want to do our best to build the hype, but also not like build the hype so much that you go out and purchase 6 Meevos thinking that you're going to be able to do this one thing. We want to make sure that when we announce stuff, it's pretty close to the release. Let's see. I remember a lot of people mad about the Multicam app delay. That's the problem, right? We don't want to make people mad. Let's see. Rick saying I was able to download the Meevo Multicam beta today. Nice. Yeah, I think iOS just hit, right? Multicam beta for iOS.
Yeah, I think so. Yesterday or today, maybe this morning.
It was yesterday. So yeah, definitely try that out if you've got iOS, and obviously if you have Android, you've probably been using it for a bit. Can you guys give some helpful advice on best ways to take advantage of picture-in-picture in live streaming? We talked about this a little bit. What was it, a couple of weeks ago when the Android beta hit,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of ways you can use it, and it really depends on the kind of content that you're making. If you're like, for example, for our show, a cool way that we could use it is if we're doing like a demo, and I can have one Mevo that is kind of facing the object that I'm talking about. Like I could have, I'm talking about like the Spark SL. I could have like one Mevo down here and it's just looking at this. And like I can either have the mic in picture while I'm talking about it, or I can have myself in the in picture and everybody can look at the mic on the big screen.
Yeah.
We've also had like a lot of people that are doing sports and they want to use it to have like one camera that's on the scoreboard and then the other camera on the action.
Cooking.
Yeah, I mean,
Cooking too, right? You can have something on the pan or on the cutting board, and then you could also have you either in the corner or
right.
even split screen, like whatever, right? So lots of really cool ways to use it.
Yeah, anything that you're trying to like both like show something and demo something to your audience, but it's also good for them to see you. Like,
yeah,
it's a good way of using it.
Yep. Yeah, and it also just makes your production just look a little bit cooler, a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, and also more engaging, right? Like I've watched a lot of videos where they are streams where they're just showing like what they're using or what they're demoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, which is cool and useful, but if I'm just seeing that for 30 or 40 minutes, then like I'm easily getting bored. Like I like streams that are dynamic and like I can see lots of things going on and that are just more engaging.
Kind of funny. One way we could use it too, we could have one on my picture of my dog and then me somewhere else. Everybody wants to see the dog. It's funny. We were talking before the show started about how well this dog sleeps. And pizza,
of course,
pizza just got delivered. This dude's wide awake. He's just pacing back and forth behind me. Just like, you are something else there. You were something else.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I want some pizza. That sounds
I know. It's sitting here. I can smell it. And I'm just like, don't eat on camera. Don't eat on camera. It's all right, though.
What's up, guys? Just popped in to fine-tune my skills before a softball tourney this weekend. Awesome. Picture-in-pictures sounds interesting. I need to brush up on that feature. Yeah, I mean, softball, you could have one camera that's on, like, the pitcher and one on the batter. Maybe you have one camera on the scoreboard and then one camera on the game. I could also see it being like really fun to have a camera that is like on the batter or just the field in general, and then another camera that's on the dugout. So like you get the reaction of everybody when like something cool happens. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool ways to do that. But yeah, good luck with the tournament, and do testing beforehand. That's always probably the most important thing to do. And when you're remote, like, you want to have that good connection.
I'm also super curious, like, when does your guys' league stop? Like, is it a year round? Like, I imagine some states have year round, right? Like, it's almost like football in Texas. Like, it's almost year round because they've got good weather. But like, I don't know. It feels like it's a a lot of the leagues that I've seen are like ending, but then there's some leagues that are starting and some tournaments that are starting. I'm kind of curious. I'm just like
the travel teams.
Yeah, probably, and it's probably the good weather teams.
Pre-high school, February to November. Okay, so that's basically all year.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's see. Gordon saying Multicam iOS hit my email inbox yesterday. Yep. Tested it last night and provided some feedback. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I know the team
that's what we need.
it.
Yeah. And for those of you that are interested, if you want to test out the new Multicam beta, you can head over to the Meevo customer Facebook group, and I believe it's in an announcement up at the top. Yeah,
there's a Google form. You just fill that bad boy out, and the person in charge will get an email, and they'll add you and send you an invite to your email.
Yes, sir.
Easy.
Do you have one of these offhand, like really close to you? Nice.
Yeah, I was like looking for it because like my office is just an absolute disaster right now. I was a guest on Monday on a podcast about 3D printing.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
right.
So I had stuff everywhere, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to get my life back together. But yes, I do have one. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. Let me see if I can find a. I got this little handy dandy. I will say this: now that we do 3D prints on the help page, and I get to review them before they get added, it's kind of cool because I get to see what everybody else is kind of designing and like how they did it and what their thought process was. It's kind of cool. Anyways, all right. So if you have a Meevo start on the bottom, you'll notice there's a notch right here. There it is. Cool. And then the quick release mount also has said notch, kind of the opposite. Not an indent, right? So then once you actually just put it in here, well, I think the thread's getting in the way here. I think it's the angle I'm going at. There we go. Pop right in, and it's magnetic. So it really shouldn't. We don't recommend mounting it upside down unless you actually twist and thread this a little bit, because now it won't go anywhere. But as soon as you don't do that, it will fall. So it's pretty quick. You just pop it in. If it's vertical, like if it's like a normal upright position, you can just pop it on and pop it off. Now, what's really cool about it is that, like, I think it really helps people quick setup, because too often people are trying to get set up so fast and they need to break down too because they don't want to leave their expensive hardware out. But you can always leave your stands in place to keep a consistent setup, so your angles are always consistent. So that's what's nice about these. You can just plug them, pop them right on, and be on your way. Of course, you can always thread it as well. Only a couple screws, and you're not going anywhere. So it's pretty nice. I like it a lot. Big fan.
I need like 10 of those.
Right?
That would be great.
It's already a struggle trying to get more. This was the prototype, so this is a little slightly different than what you guys would get. This would not be red, and then this would also have a Logitech logo on it, or maybe just says Logi. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, we don't even have one that's out of the box yet, so like, still working on that. I've made the request to have 10 of them actually sent to us, but
yeah, I mean, we got to do some live unboxings or something.
Yeah. Yep.
So I wanted to actually bring this up because I don't think we've pulled this up on the show before, but since you mentioned it, it is really cool. If you didn't know this, we have recently added this. This was like, what, within the past couple of months?
Yeah. It was maybe June. I'm not sure.
And so if you have a 3D printer, or even a friend or relative that has a 3D printer, you can download any of these different kind of homemade 3D printed accessories and set them up with your Meevo. And yeah, there's actually some really cool stuff.
No, big fan. I think it's cool because not everyone has a printer. So like, we obviously provide the files for them to do it themselves, right. But then you can also just pay someone if they like. Not everyone wants to drop hundreds of dollars on a 3D printer, but it's cool that others are offering the ability. So like, you don't even necessarily need to have one. You could go buy the part, but if you do have one, you can make one as well. So it's like, I don't know, it's pretty flexible. I think it's pretty neat that Logitech and Meevo in general are even allowing it. I think it's pretty cool. It's not very often.
Right, it's super unique.
Yeah, it's not very often you see companies who are like, yeah, go make it yourself. Like, it's, you know, instead of trying to make a profit off something. So
it's huge. Joe, since you were a catcher, I've got a great clip to show you of my daughter. Tag, spin move, throw out at third. Nice. We love it as it's on both Meevo starts. Perfect.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll have to share that. If you haven't posted it in the Facebook group, post it up in there so I can take a look. It'll be super cool.
On that quick release, what does it connect to opposite of the red side? So you can put that on any kind of tripod or...
Identical. It's identical to the Meevo. So the same exact threading. So you can take out the adapter, flip it around, remove it entirely. You got the 1/4-20, the 3/8/16, and then I think the other one's a 5/8. But all three of those are available. Just like the Meevo.
So identical. Anything that you're using right now, you can use that
Continue to use, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Which is really smart on their part, actually. It's something I don't know if I would have thought of.
Well, it's funny because like we had seen these in the office, right, when we were
long time
going in. Yeah, so like these have been a work in progress for a long time, but it's like you just have so much going on. So like when it was actually told, like when we were actually told it was being released, we were like, we totally forgot about it. Like I don't even remember what. Like I don't remember. I didn't remember the threads. Like apparently the engineers are just back there making things happen.
What's interesting is like I remember saying to I think Jimmy that I was like, "This is awesome! Like I love this. I can't wait to get one."
Yeah.
And here we are, a few months later, or I guess a lot months later.
A lot months later.
But at least now it's out. So yeah, definitely check that out. Go over to Meevo.com and you can pick one up. How much are they? They are $39.99.
$39.99. Yeah, and I will say they are all metal. Like every part of this is metal. So you're not getting any plastic. At least I don't think there's anything plastic in this. No, it's all metal. And magnetized. So you're not getting anything cheap at all. So you're not gonna have to worry about this breaking. Now I did kind of demo this on the Facebook group because people had asked about it. And I know this is like a thing that people experience, and we've seen it quite frequently with like the fence clip. People unscrewing so much, and next thing you know, they've disassembled it to the point where they don't know how to put it back together. Well, like what's cool about this is you can take this apart, and it's very self-explanatory how to put it back together. So like you can see on the inside, you've got the two metal pieces here, and you can't mix it up. Like there's only one place for them to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it was very important to show that because, you know, the last thing you want is people to be afraid to unscrew something. And like the pieces, none of them are small. So you're not going to just like drop them on the ground and not find it, which is kind of funny because when I did the demo, I actually couldn't find it. I was like, where'd it go? But that's because my desk is a mess, not because it's not big enough. Speaking of a quick release.
Yeah.
I told you I was going to tell you wanted to talk about this. Thanks for the follow or subscribe or whatever that was. We're going to have to put some text up there so we know what we're looking at. The mic quick release. Now, this isn't a Logitech product, but I know I told you not happy with it.
Really? That's so disappointing, man.
I know. I was super sad because like, so check this out. It's actually interesting because so I bought two of them because I wanted to be able to swap out mics with the two mics that I typically use. And the threading here on this thing, this is like a really cheap metal. So like the threading actually doesn't even fit the microphone. It's the same. And then the other one does fit the microphone, but you run into this issue where it's super wobbly. Like if you put the mic on there, it's a lot more obvious that the mic's shifting around. Right. But it's just not, it doesn't look secure. It just feels cheap. And I'm just like pretty disappointed about it. So the first thing I started doing was like, how can I 3D print a solution? Because this is ridiculous. Like, I need something.
So speaking of like random little products, I saw this the other day in a YouTube video, and I was like, I think this is actually kind of genius for Meevo, which is it just cuts the power from the USB cable. So it's a switch where if you just plug whatever USB cable you're using into it, and then into your computer, you can cut the power on and off. And so for Meevo, that's actually really great because you can have it off, and then when you want it on, flip the switch, it'll boot up, flip the switch off, and then 15 minutes later, it'll turn off.
No, that's super solid. That's a good find. I mean, it's similar to like what people use with like a smart switch, but this one's just manual. So I was like, you're looking to save a few bucks and you don't want to go the smart switch route. It's a pretty good way to go too. Pretty good way. Oh boy.
That's on my list of things to play around with.
Did I show you this? I mean, this thing?
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Right? I want to I want to design like a box or something to put on like the side of the mic or something. I don't know.
What you need is like you put that in like a closed box and put like a flashlight behind it, and it'll project Equip Live on your wall.
Not a bad idea.
Right?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. I actually ordered some of those. You've seen the RGB bases that's got like acrylic. And like you turn it on and it lights up the logo and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ordered 6 of those. And I'm going to see if I can get, a Logi C on there, see if I can get Equip Live on there. I'm going to play with it. I can get my Twitch logo. I want to mess with all types of stuff.
Let's see.
I also bought an airbrush. I'm gonna start messing with a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna get real weird with it.
It's just it's R&D for the job.
Ah, iHawk posted the video. Jumped to 25 seconds. There it is.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Jim. Jim from the Facebook group. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was Jim.
We've got another cool link from Ricky. So we've got Elf's giant drum set. First off, that is insanity. I love that a lot. So here is the Elf's giant drum set. First off,
oh wow,
how many drums is this? Because it seems like a lot.
He's using 6 Meevos.
So what he's doing here is interesting and definitely something that you may want to reconsider, which is, so what he's taking the Meevos and going into OBS and then increasing his resolution. Yeah, I mean, this
you don't even see him in there. That's insanity.
It's a good way to use multicam for sure. This would also be a great use case for picture-in-picture. Just one camera that's always him, and then, or even like keep switching around, and you have like one camera that is like his like foot pedal or something like that. But props to this guy for basically the coolest drum setup I've ever seen.
That would give me so much anxiety.
It's pretty awesome though.
Yeah, it's a ton. So much going on. Like this, it's almost like he starts hitting on things when he realizes there's another drum there. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one." He's like, and then he's concentrating hard though. That's impressive. Good for you.
News deserves a Elf's giant drum set. Yeah, everybody go give that a like or a subscribe to that channel because that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Thanks for linking that, Ricky. That's pretty awesome.
That's insane. How does he get out? That's a good question. There's an escape path under the set. I don't know.
It's the only thing you can do.
Right.
Rick saying, I did not hear the beginning with your setups. Are you guys streaming with Melon today? We are. If so, do you set up themes and designs in Melon? How do you guys set up for streaming? Always trying to learn. Yeah, so first and foremost, the one thing that I'll say about setting up for streaming is do it early, because there's always going to be something that goes wrong. You know, if you're doing the same kind of streaming setup every single week like we're doing, then it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. You don't have to like troubleshoot quite as much, but we also kind of like switch out our mics a lot and change out like the backgrounds and stuff like that. So first and foremost, give yourself time to troubleshoot things. And then in terms of my setup, it varies a lot because like I try and have multiple setups in my house for different things. And so lately I've been using this setup with a green screen, which I think is a good way to go. You can do some cool stuff with a green screen. But if you have like an awesome background like Joe does, where you have just like crazy stuff like a computer on the wall, then like you don't want to do a green screen. So it's kind of nice that we've got two very different kinds of setups. And then in terms of using Melon, we really like using Melon because it's just really good at doing multiple people. But, you know, we were talking a little bit in the beginning that Streamlabs is actually coming out with a feature pretty soon that will allow you to bring in multiple people into Streamlabs. So we'll be demoing that in the future for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I talked about using the closed alpha or beta yesterday, and I was 2 other people plus me, so 3 of us. And it was funny because they're like, "Yeah, are we gonna do this? Or we're gonna play with it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go for it." And like they're like, "Yeah, we're ready to start the game." And I'm like, "Guys, this takes a second to set up. Like I've got to add you as sources, get your audio figured. I was like, you guys go ahead and play, and I'll get the stream set up. I'm like, this is not. It's crazy how many people think it's just like you flip a switch and you're just on your way. Like, there's more to setting up a stream than being like, let's stream with all of us in the same location in the next 10 minutes. Like, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
And the thing that ties this back into the original topic that we were talking about at the beginning of the show, which is audio, is that you can have a stream that has really poor quality video and has great audio and people still watch.
Yep.
If you have a stream that has audio that's cutting in and out, or it's like peaking too much or something like that, then like people will not stay.
Yeah.
So it really, really matters that you test your audio and make sure that that is good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason podcasts exist, right? Like people can, like, video is great. Being from the Meevo family, like, love video. Never gonna push you away from it. Video is an awesome cherry on top. But yeah, I mean, if you're having issues with your video, like, you can still get away with great audio and people will listen. There's a reason radio is still a thing.
Right.
Like, you hear game casts of sports games on the radio still, because as long as you're descriptive and you sound good, people will listen because they want to know what's going on. So,
and there's no popular content that is video only with no audio, right?
Yeah.
Like, goes the other way around with podcasts, but there's no just video.
That would be weird. That'd be so weird.
Right? Yeah, it just doesn't work.
I don't like that.
How's the audio on that setup? Yeah, that's a good question. Like, you can't be using individual mics for individual drums. You've got to do like area audio or something. That's a good question. Let's see. It's a good call out. Twitch and Meevo family. Melon has a major sale for Pro, 150 a year, only 450. That is actually a crazy sale. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about Melon. Both, like, Melon's great for if you're bringing in multiple people, but Melon is also great if you're a Meevo user and you stream to multiple destinations, because you can RTMP into Melon and Melon will automatically rebroadcast it to multiple networks.
Yeah, it was funny because, like, so we had a meeting yesterday and I don't remember what it was about, but it was something. It was, I think it had something to do with Melon, or maybe it was Streamlabs, I don't remember. But yeah, Vincent messaged me and he's like, wait, so how are Meevo users using Melon? And I was like, oh, they're using it to multi-destination. I was like, of course, some of them use them with webcam mode, just like we do, but a lot of them use it as multi-destination solutions. So
yeah. Which is interesting because we brought that up, like 4 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Silent movies work as just video. They do. I just haven't seen a silent movie since like the 1920s.
And especially not one that I cared to actually watch.
Right. Yeah, here's a link from Gordon. Thanks for putting that in there. If you're a Meevo user or a potential Meevo user, you should definitely check out this group. People are super, super helpful. There's lots of good demos, lots of good answers and tips and tricks and all that stuff. So
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have like a group or anything for the show itself. At least not yet. Maybe someday. Yeah. I would like to have a consolidated location where we could all just talk and hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since like we have people coming in from so many different groups.
Yeah, establish a community, give you guys a reason to want to come and see and hang out with us. Right.
Yeah, so we actually talked about this a little bit in the beginning. Ricky saying, when will I be able to play back pre-made videos like billboards? So I can roll in commercials and backgrounds. So, we don't know when pre-recorded video is going to be added to the Multicam app. It is on our coming soon page, but we don't know when that soon is, but it's definitely on our list. So hopefully on the closer end of soon.
Hopefully soon.
But yeah,
soon for like 2 years.
Yeah, we'll definitely show it off as soon as we can, though. As soon as it's ready. Cool. Awesome. You should definitely join.
I have no intentions in kind of making fun of our timelines, but I do feel like coming soon was probably a poor choice of words. Because yeah, like we're finally like halfway through these, but like it's been coming, like that page has been up for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Or well, at least over a year now, at least. So, and I think even before that. So,
yeah, it's definitely been over a year for sure. Cool. So, for those of you that missed kind of the beginning of the show, I do want to announce one more time that we are going to have a special show on September 22nd. So, you definitely don't want to miss that. Definitely be here and be excited because there's lots of stuff to talk about. If you didn't see, we also talked a little bit about Logi Play, which is happening on September 21st, so the day before. So check this out, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/Logitech G. And if you're not already following and subscribed to both Logitech G and Logitech C's Twitch pages, you should do that right now for sure, because we're always talking about all this cool stuff.
Yep. And don't bother to ask us what LogiPlay is because we're not super sure either. So, but it's exciting enough that they're posting it on all of the pages, so that's got to mean something.
That's right. I mean, I've seen it posted everywhere.
Yeah.
What's cool is just it's a lot of different different teams and groups of Logitech just coming together.
I'm loving the responses on Twitter. So people are just like, it was like somebody posted a meme and it was just like, this can't be all of it. Like, where's the rest of the information? And they're like, like, what is this? And it's just like, it's pretty funny. I love it. I love the way that they're handling the media responses.
I gotta say, I'm always like, I see the Logitech G and Logitech C posts where it's on like Instagram or Twitter and it's like coming soon and it'll show like a little bit of the product, like a little tiny image.
Yeah.
It gets me so hyped, and I don't know what everybody at Logitech is doing, so I'm like really excited for the release also.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the collab cam, right? So like Streamlabs is part of Logitech for creators, but we didn't know they were working on collab cam. Like, and then they're like, there's an open beta, well, no, closed beta or alpha. And of course, like all we had to do was message them and be like, yeah, we want access. But it's just like, it's cool to see what other people are working on. So, you know, with it being on Logitech G, I'm curious, like, you know, what are they doing? Like, what are we doing stuff? Like, what is this? Because, like, in my opinion, when I hear Logi Play, I'm like, are we all like gonna play games like on their channel? Like, what is this? So, if you guys are curious as us, you should come check it out. I wish we could do, and I know we can't because I already asked, but I wish we could and do a live reaction. That'd be cool, where we could be watching it and commenting on what's going on.
That's funny. I was thinking about that too.
But, you know, I don't think, you know, because I already asked marketing if we could broadcast it on our channel too. Right. And they were like, don't want to split up viewers. So, but yeah, a live reaction would be cool. But, yeah. Oh, well.
Let's see. Rick saying, what is the best way to stream via Melon with multiple Meevo cameras? Tried using wireless webcam with a multicam, but getting way too much desyncing with audio and video. How can I do this? Yeah, so if you're using multicam going into wireless webcam, you may have some sync issues depending on like the network that you're running on and stuff like that. And so it can get tricky. Also, it depends on the audio sources that are going into the multicam app, right? Like if you're using like the Meevo mic app or something like that, and you've got high latency Meevos, then you're going to have issues with audio sync. So what I would do is I would use the Multicam app streaming RTMP to Melon, or if you want to actually use the Melon interface, then what you can do is use like Streamlabs to use virtual camera and bring that into Melon. And you can also add multiple cameras in Melon individually. So if you connected them all via wired webcam, then you can just select each one of them in the Melon app.
Yeah. I think you can always just do like use like the virtual cam from like Streamlabs, then also do NDI into Streamlabs instead of using Multicam, and then just control it via Streamlabs instead. There's a lot of ways to do it.
That's probably the better way to go. I like doing like NDI into Streamlabs and then Streamlabs virtual cam or something like that, or just using Streamlabs. But if you wanted to use Melon, then go NDI to Streamlabs, then virtual camera into Melon.
Yep.
Let's see. How about a user's Zoom meeting? Oh, that's interesting. Like instead of doing like a stream onto Twitch or something like that, you just collect everybody into a Zoom call. I mean, that's kind of smart. I like that. It's kind of what we're doing now, but a little tighter community thing. That's good. I like that. Cool. It's like we are coming close to wrapping it up for the day. So if you have any last minute questions, please put those in chat and we'll try and get to those ASAP. We are, of course, live once a week on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, I've really like lost my skill when it comes to reading out the basics with the show, but yeah.
Oh, I'm running out of energy, man. Running out of energy. Got more coffee.
That's the problem with having the show right around lunch is you're just waiting for that energy boost.
I'm dying to eat, trying to push more coffee into me. Crazy.
Yep. So Rick, it's part of Streamlabs. So if you get Streamlabs, and I'll put that in there.
Yep.
So if you use Streamlabs, it's a feature in Streamlabs that you can just turn on. So let me get you a link. Streamlabs.com. There you go. Check out that link. Hit the download up in the top right, and that'll download Streamlabs. And then you can just enable the virtual camera in the settings. Cool.
Boom. One of that was easy button. I feel like that's necessary. That was easy.
That would be nice. And then just a little graphic on. Yeah. I like that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be live next Thursday. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. All that jazz.
See you, everyone.